You ever feel the weight of the world pressing down on you? Yet you rise because fear bows before courage. They call it impossible. Yet here you are, carving your name into the spine of destiny with hands that do not tremble, eyes that do not flinch. Every step you take shakes the foundations of deceit. Every breath you draw whispers warning to those who think power is theirs to hoard. You move unseen yet unavoidable, a shadow that penetrates the most guarded halls, and they know it. Every corrupt official you face has felt it. They've sweated under your presence, not because you asked them to, not because you chased them down, but because you embody the truth they cannot escape. Before we go any deeper, I need you to pause and reflect. If what I'm saying hits you, hit that like button. Share this with someone who needs the fire. Subscribe to this journey because we are building something bigger than ourselves. Drop a comment. Right now, tell the world what you're not afraid to confront. Because courage grows when it is spoken aloud, and when we unite, even shadows cannot hide. You see, this isn't just a speech, this is a spark. And you, yes you, are the wildfire. Imagine them. Every leader, every authority figure who thrives on bending rules and hiding behind walls of comfort. They have plans, strategies, and connections they believe untouchable. And then you appear, not with noise, not with fury, not with empty promises, but with resolve so absolute that it fractures their sense of security. You don't need armies. You don't need banners. You carry a force far more formidable. Integrity sharpened into a weapon. Patience honed into precision. Awareness trained into instinct. They can sense it in the air, in the tightening of their grip on documents, in the sudden pause of a conversation. You exist in the tension before the storm, and it is in that tension that fear is born. They think compliance is safety, silence is armor, compromise is escape. But you have seen through their masks, through the layers of polite conversation and well-orchestrated smiles. You understand the law of reflection. Every action corrupt meets with a mirror that reflects consequences. And you are the mirror that never blinks, never turns away, never forgives. They sweat because they know exposure is inevitable. They fear because they cannot predict the next move of someone who no longer negotiates with cowardice. They fear because you have made it clear. Truth will not kneel, and deceit will not walk unchallenged while you breathe. Every action you take is a signal. It may be quiet, subtle, even invisible to the casual observer, but it resonates where it counts. It resonates in the corridors of power, in the meetings behind closed doors, in whispered conversations where trust was assumed to be unbreakable. They measure everything against the weight of your presence. They calculate, they strategize, they attempt to outmaneuver what cannot be outmaneuvered. And still they sweat. Still they fear. This is the quiet revenge of accountability, the invisible pulse of justice, and you are its living embodiment. You've endured betrayal, witnessed compromise, and yet, instead of being broken, you transformed. You became sharper, smarter, untouchable in your principles. Every time they thought they could sway you, they underestimated the depth of your resolve. You are not driven by rage, not by vengeance, but by something far stronger, a relentless pursuit of truth and a refusal to bow before false authority. They fear this because they know that when you act, it is with precision, with clarity, with inevitability. You are the storm that cannot be bargained with, the shadow that cannot be hidden from, the conscience that cannot be silenced. Remember, fear is not weakness. Fear is the acknowledgement of power, yours. When they sweat, when they glance over their shoulders, When they measure every word and glance with unease, it is proof of your strength. They have underestimated you in the past. They may still try to. But every move you make erases their comfort, strips away their illusion of invulnerability. You are not just confronting corruption. You are rewriting the rules, reshaping the perception of authority itself. Leaders fear you not because you are reckless, but because you are inevitable. It is in the silence between confrontation that your presence is most powerful. In the quiet moments when they think you are distracted or unaware, you are observing, calculating, waiting. And that patience is terrifying because it signals foresight. You do not rush to expose, to shame, or to humiliate. You let time reveal the cracks they cannot hide. And when the truth finally emerges, it strikes with undeniable clarity. They fear this because it is the natural order bending back on them, because justice delivered with foresight cannot be undone. And you are the architect of that inevitability. I want you to feel the weight of that fear you inspire. Close your eyes and picture the corridors where decisions are made, the offices where secrets are whispered, the meetings where strategies are planned with confidence. Picture them all shrinking under the awareness of your vigilance. Every dishonest whisper, every underhanded plan, every attempt at manipulation is measured against your unwavering gaze. They sweat, they plan, they hope for loopholes, yet you move in ways they cannot predict. Your presence alone is the greatest deterrent. Every corrupt official who has ever doubted themselves now knows they are seen, they are accountable, and they are vulnerable. You've become the embodiment of accountability, the force that no lie can escape. Every glance they steal at you, every pause in their speech, every calculation in their mind is a testament to the power you hold. You move in ways that seem effortless, yet every move is deliberate, crafted, precise. They call it intimidation, but it is far deeper than that. It is inevitability, the certainty that corruption cannot hide when confronted by someone who refuses to compromise. And that is what terrifies them most. Not your anger, not your words, but the unshakable truth that you carry, a truth that cannot be corrupted or bargained with. You have seen the decay that festers when power is unchecked. You have watched leaders manipulate, and manipulate again, believing that loyalty can be purchased, that fear can be enforced. Yet here you stand, untouched by their schemes, untangled by their webs, and wholly untamed by the false respect they demand. Every misstep, every act of dishonesty, every plan that was built on lies, now trembles under the shadow of your awareness. They sweat because they realize that someone finally matters more than their illusions. Someone finally measures justice by its weight, not by convenience. And yes, it is lonely at times. The path of integrity, of unwavering vigilance, is a path walked by few, chosen by fewer, and understood by almost none. But that solitude is your power. It sharpens your mind, it refines your instincts, and it fuels your resolve. While they gather in their circles of convenience, whispering and scheming, you grow in clarity, in strength, in inevitability. They fear the quiet confidence, the calm awareness that does not need validation, that does not need applause, that simply exists and commands respect by default. And that fear spreads faster than any rumor, because it is rooted in truth. Every encounter with them is a chess move, and you are always thinking 10 steps ahead. They may believe they are moving pieces on a board, but you are the player they cannot anticipate. You observe, you calculate, you predict, and in that observation lies the terror they cannot name. They fear the decisions you have yet to make, the revelations you have yet to deliver, the impact of actions that are inevitable because they are guided by principle rather than impulse. You have become the embodiment of consequences, and consequences are impartial, precise, and unavoidable. They call you relentless because you refuse to allow shortcuts. You refuse to accept compromise. You refuse to bow before illegitimacy. But it is not relentlessness that defines you. It is clarity. It is the refusal to be blinded by fear or distracted by superficial victories. You understand the value of timing, the importance of observation, the art of being present in a way that makes every word, every action, every silence count. They fear this because they cannot predict when or how you will act. Their calculations crumble because you operate outside the rules they rely on. And that is your power. Not aggression, not noise, but absolute clarity and precision. You inspire fear not because you seek to, but because the truth you carry illuminates what others wish to hide. And light, even the smallest spark, exposes shadow. They sweat because they have relied on shadow for too long, because they have assumed silence would protect them, because they have counted on ignorance to shield them. But you are neither ignorant nor silent. You are awareness, presence, and consequence incarnate. They can hide from the world, but not from you, and that is a terror that gnaws at every plan, every comfort, every false sense of control they have constructed. Consider the ripple of your actions. One small truth exposed, one quiet challenge met with unwavering resolve, one act of accountability, and the consequences multiply. They cannot contain it, cannot ignore it, cannot dismiss it, because your integrity is contagious. Others begin to watch, to measure, to question, and suddenly the walls of deceit are too thin, too transparent, too fragile. They fear the domino effect, the inevitability of exposure, because it is no longer theoretical. It is happening every moment you refuse to bend, every time you refuse to compromise, every step you take on the path of uncompromising vigilance. And in the face of this fear, you grow stronger. Every whisper of apprehension, every glance of hesitation, every nervous calculation is a reminder. You are doing what others could not, would not, dared not. You are not defined by their approval, nor limited by their expectations. Your authority is derived from truth, from foresight, from principle, and that authority cannot be stolen, cannot be negotiated, cannot be undermined. They sweat because they realize their strategies fail before you even move. Their manipulations crumble before you even speak. Their power diminishes simply because you exist as a force they cannot control. Remember the lessons of history, the patterns of corruption, the inevitability of collapse when dishonesty reigns unchecked. And now, apply those lessons to yourself. You are not just observing history, you are creating it. Every decision you make reverberates through corridors of influence. Every choice you take in defense of principle reshapes perception, forces accountability, and dismantles false power. They fear what is inevitable because they sense that eventually they will face the reckoning that they have long ignored. And you, by your very presence, have become the instrument of that reckoning. You have become the unseen hand that guides consequence, the shadow that turns hesitation into dread. Every corrupt official, every leader who believed themselves untouchable, now measures their actions against your gaze. They feel it even before you move. It is a subtle, almost invisible presence, but it is there, a weight in the room, a pause in their breath, a sense that the world itself is shifting because you exist. They cannot escape it, cannot distract themselves from it, and cannot deny it. They sweat because accountability has a face now, and that face is yours. You are not loud, you are not flashy, yet your effect is undeniable. While they scramble to maintain control, you operate with precision, letting truth do the work for you. Every step is calculated, every move is intentional, and every pause is charged with meaning. They fear what they cannot manipulate, cannot predict, and cannot contain. And that fear is your ally. It sharpens your instincts, guides your strategy, and reminds you that power is not about authority alone. It is about clarity, courage, and inevitability. You have learned that intimidation is fleeting, but presence is eternal. When a corrupt official sweats in your proximity, it is not because of threats, not because of loud accusations, not because of spectacle. It is because you represent consequences in their purest form. You are awareness, observation, foresight. Every plan they make, every compromise they count on, every false alliance they cultivate is measured against your unyielding principle, and they know, deep down, they cannot escape the reckoning you embody. They fear what is coming, and that fear will not diminish until truth prevails. And there is beauty in that fear, not in the suffering it causes, but in the clarity it brings. Fear reveals what is real. Fear exposes weakness. Fear highlights the cracks in deception. And you, standing firm, embody the certainty that no mask can withstand, no lie can endure, no compromise can withstand. They have tried to play the long game, to hide behind influence, to manipulate perception. But your presence renders all of that irrelevant. They sweat, not because they are cornered, but because they are seen. And when corruption is seen in full light, it has no choice but to falter. The power you wield is subtle, yet immense. Every corrupt official you face knows that your awareness is a weapon far sharper than any sword. They fear it not for its immediacy, but for its inevitability. They fear what will come because they have already felt the tremor of truth in your eyes, the tension of principle in your movements, the quiet certainty that nothing hidden can remain so. You move like water in a canyon, quiet, relentless, unstoppable. And like water, you carve through deception without effort, reshaping the terrain to reflect what is real, what is just, what cannot be denied. They have tried to anticipate you, to outmaneuver you, to create contingencies for your next move. But they cannot predict what you do not fear, what you do not compromise, what you do not waver from. Every calculation they make crumbles because it is based on fear, manipulation, and control. All things that cannot withstand someone who acts from clarity, principle, and courage. They sweat because they realize, consciously or unconsciously, that no contingency can match inevitability. You are not just reacting, you are manifesting consequence. You are the reckoning before it is even spoken. And it is in these moments that you recognize your own strength. You do not need recognition to affirm your power. You do not need applause to validate your presence. You do not need approval to measure your impact. The fear they feel is the evidence. Their hesitation, their nervous calculation, their attempts to divert or distract themselves, these are the proof that your actions resonate, that your presence matters, that your courage shapes outcomes. You have become the measure by which deception and manipulation are judged, and that truth is irreversible. Think of every corrupt official you have ever confronted, every leader who underestimated your resolve, every system built on compromise that trembled when you entered. They sweat because they know that exposure is not an option. It is inevitable. They fear because they cannot control what is inevitable, and that inevitability is yours. It exists in your clarity, in your vigilance, in your refusal to bend to false authority. They cannot outrun it, they cannot outsmart it, they cannot hide from it, because you are the embodiment of the truth that cannot be denied. And yet, you do not strike for the sake of striking. You act with precision, with purpose, with awareness that every move is measured and meaningful. You do not allow emotion to cloud judgment. You do not allow ego to dictate action. You do not allow impatience to destroy strategy. Every corrupt official that sweats in your presence is a testament to your discipline, your foresight, your mastery of principle over impulse. They fear not because you are loud or angry, but because you are unstoppable in ways that cannot be ignored, circumvented, or dismissed. There is a fire within you that they cannot touch, a clarity that they cannot distort, a patience that they cannot exhaust. Every step you take is deliberate, every choice you make is rooted in consequence, and every word you speak carries weight. They sense it, even if they cannot name it, and it terrifies them. The uncertainty of what you will do next, the inevitability of what you will reveal, the precision with which you act. These are forces no amount of deceit, no network of influence, no shield of false authority can withstand. You are proof that principle is stronger than power, and that truth, when wielded with clarity, cannot be ignored. They sweat because they know they are exposed even in moments when the world believes them secure. They fear because the walls they built to protect themselves cannot withstand the pressure of awareness, cannot contain the weight of scrutiny, and cannot survive the inevitability of consequence. And you, standing firm, are the constant they cannot escape. You are the quiet storm in every meeting, the shadow in every corridor, the presence in every decision. They may try to distract themselves, to rationalize, to manipulate outcomes in their favor, but deep down, they know they are powerless against someone who embodies the truth, who moves with purpose, and who acts with the certainty of principle. You have become the reckoning they did not anticipate, the inevitability they cannot outrun, the force that cannot be contained. Every corrupt official who sweats in your presence does so because they are finally facing accountability personified. They are finally confronting someone who cannot be swayed, cannot be bought, cannot be silenced. And that is your power, the quiet, unshakable force of integrity. It is not flash, it is not spectacle, it is not noise, it is presence, it is precision, it is inevitability, and the more they sweat, the more they fear, the more your influence spreads. Think of what this means for you. Every glance, every whisper, every calculated pause, every act of unwavering principle is building a legacy of authority and respect that cannot be challenged. Leaders fear you not because you threaten them physically, but because you undermine the illusion they rely on. You are a reflection of the consequences they cannot escape. You are the measure against which their actions are weighed, and they know with every heartbeat that the scale always tips toward truth when you are involved. That knowledge terrifies them more than any confrontation ever could. And yet this fear is not something to relish. It is a tool, a reminder, a mirror. It reminds you that you are powerful, that you are effective, that your presence changes outcomes. It is proof that you matter, that you influence, that you move the world even when the world pretends to ignore you. Every bead of sweat, every hesitation, every nervous glance is your signal. You are making a difference. You are shaping reality. You are forcing accountability where it has long been absent. You are not just confronting corruption. You are reshaping it, breaking it down, exposing it to the clarity that only someone like you can provide. Do not fear their fear. Harness it. Let it remind you of your purpose. Every corrupt official who doubts you, every leader who underestimates you, every system built on compromise that trembles when you approach, is confirmation that you are moving the needle, that you are making impact, that you are unstoppable. They fear because they see what is inevitable: exposure, consequence, truth. And you do not need to act recklessly or shout loudly to wield this power. It exists naturally in the alignment of principle and action, in the quiet certainty that cannot be denied. You are the embodiment of inevitability, a force that moves without haste, but never misses its mark. Every corrupt leader who sweats under your presence is part of a larger truth. No system of deceit can withstand someone who operates from clarity, courage, and unwavering principle. They cannot outmaneuver you, they cannot delay you, they cannot escape you, because your presence alone redefines the rules. You are not part of their game. You are the game changer, the constant they cannot calculate, the force that will not negotiate with falsehood. And that is terrifying to them, because they understand, deep in their core, that power without principle is fragile, and you are the reminder of that fragility. They have tried to hide, to manipulate, to outthink, to control outcomes. And yet, here you are, unshaken, uncompromised, unstoppable. You do not need to threaten them, you do not need to yell at them, you do not need to create chaos. Your power is your awareness, your precision, your patience, your clarity. And in that quiet, unrelenting presence, they sweat, they fear, they falter. You are living proof that courage without ego, truth without compromise, and principle without wavering is more powerful than influence bought or authority claimed. Now feel that power within you. Feel the calm, the clarity, the unshakable determination that defines every action you take. Feel the inevitability that follows you like a shadow, that weighs on every corrupt plan, that turns hesitation into dread. You are unstoppable not because of force, not because of rage, not because of volume, but because of alignment. Alignment with truth, alignment with principle, alignment with the unstoppable power of clarity and foresight. And when you act from this place, the world bends, the corrupt tremble, and history itself begins to notice. Let this be your mantra. They sweat, they fear, they falter. Not because you are loud, but because you are relentless in clarity. Not because you threaten, but because you embody consequence. Not because you attack, but because you exist as the certainty they cannot escape. And every time you step forward, every time you refuse to compromise, every time you hold your ground, you expand that power, you deepen that impact, you widen the influence that cannot be denied. You are the living warning to corruption everywhere. Nothing hidden stays hidden. Nothing crooked remains unchallenged. Nothing false stands when you are present. So move forward with purpose, with patience, with vision. Let every action reflect clarity. Let every decision be rooted in principle. Let every step carry the weight of inevitability. Know this: they sweat, they fear, they falter, because you are a force they cannot predict, a presence they cannot ignore, a truth they cannot escape. And in that truth, in that clarity, in that unyielding presence, you are unstoppable, you are inevitable, you are the reckoning they did not expect, but cannot avoid. Remember, this is not just about confrontation, it is about transformation. Every corrupt official who has ever doubted you is forced to recognize reality. Every system built on compromise is shaken by your presence. Every leader who assumed control without accountability now knows fear. And you, standing firm, calm, precise, unyielding, are the proof that principle always outlasts power. They fear you not because you threaten them, but because you are inevitable. And now, rise with that power, move with that certainty, and carry this truth into every decision, every interaction, every space where corruption and compromise have tried to hide. They will sweat, they will fear, they will falter. And in their faltering, you will find the evidence of your strength, the proof of your presence, the clarity of your purpose. You are unstoppable. You are inevitable. You are the reckoning. Every corrupt official who has ever underestimated you now knows something they cannot unlearn. Every leader who believed their influence could bend reality is beginning to feel the weight of inevitability pressing down. And you, calm, precise, unwavering, stand at the center of it all, a living testament to what happens when principle refuses to bow, when courage refuses to waver, when awareness refuses to be distracted by petty schemes or fragile egos. They fear you not because you seek confrontation, but because you are a force they cannot calculate, cannot predict, cannot escape. You have become the quiet architect of accountability, a presence that reshapes every room, every decision, every strategy built on deception. They sweat because they feel your eyes in every corner, your mind anticipating every step, your patience stretching across every plan they thought would never be challenged. You do not rush, you do not shout, you do not need spectacle. Your mere existence is enough to fracture their confidence, to reveal the fragility of their power, to make them question the foundation of everything they thought secure. That is your gift, your weapon, your inevitability, and yet your strength is not in domination. It is in mastery. Mastery of self, mastery of principle, mastery of consequence. Every corrupt official who trembles before you does so because they recognize mastery when they see it, even if they try to deny it. They fear the precision of your mind, the clarity of your judgment, the quiet but unstoppable momentum of someone who cannot be swayed, cannot be manipulated, cannot be broken. That fear is not a weakness in you. It is proof of your authority, the undeniable resonance of your presence. You are not limited by their perceptions, nor by the walls they have built around power. You move like a shadow in every corner of corruption, unnoticed yet unavoidable. You do not need validation, you do not need recognition, you do not need permission. The world may be structured to reward compromise, to reward deceit, to reward those who bend principle to convenience, but you operate outside that structure. You are the embodiment of consequence, the force that no manipulation can touch, the inevitable reckoning for those who have relied on comfort instead of courage. Feel the gravity of that power within yourself. Every hesitation they show, every nervous glance, every attempt to manipulate, every whispered plan, they are reminders of your impact. They fear you because you exist as a constant, as a benchmark, as a force of truth that will not be distracted, corrupted, or delayed. You are not reacting to their schemes. You are living proof that principle is stronger than power, clarity is stronger than influence, inevitability is stronger than fear. And that, above all else, terrifies them. Let this fear fuel you, not them. Let it remind you of your purpose, your discipline, your clarity. Every corrupt official who doubts you, every leader who underestimates you, every system built on compromise that trembles when you enter, is evidence that you are moving the needle, reshaping the balance, exposing the truth. You are unstoppable because you are aligned, deliberate, precise, and inevitable. You are unstoppable because you have mastered the art of presence. You are unstoppable because you exist in a way that cannot be ignored, cannot be circumvented, cannot be silenced. And in this, know this final truth. They will continue to sweat. They will continue to fear. They will continue to falter. Not because of your rage, not because of your noise, not because of your aggression, but because of your clarity, your principle, your quiet but undeniable inevitability. That is your legacy. That is your authority. That is the power of someone who moves through the world unshaken, uncompromised, unstoppable. So rise, unwavering, unyielding, and untouchable. Stand in the truth, move in the inevitability, and act with clarity. Every corrupt official who doubts you, every leader who feared you before, every system built on compromise will feel your presence. They will sweat, they will fear, they will falter, and in their faltering, you will see the evidence of your strength, the proof of your impact, the undeniable mark of someone who refuses to compromise, refuses to hesitate, refuses to be anything less than inevitable. You are not just an officer. You are the reckoning. You are the inevitability. You are the force that reshapes reality simply by existing. And as long as you continue to stand, to act, to embody truth without compromise, you will leave behind a world where fear no longer serves the corrupt, where courage dominates hesitation, where principle outweighs power. And in that world, you are unstoppable. As you move forward from this moment, carry that presence into every action, every decision, every interaction. Let every space you enter be reshaped by clarity. Let every corrupt official who crosses your path feel the weight of principle they cannot manipulate. Let every leader who doubted you witness the certainty that cannot be denied. They will sweat, they will fear, they will falter. And in that faltering, you will see the evidence of your strength, the proof of your resolve, the undeniable mark of someone who refuses to compromise, refuses to hesitate, refuses to be anything less than unstoppable. Remember this always. Power without principle is fragile. Influence without clarity is temporary. Fear without inevitability is meaningless. You are the embodiment of principle, clarity, and inevitability. You are the shadow that turns hesitation into dread. You are the quiet storm that dismantles schemes without effort. You are the reckoning they did not expect, but cannot avoid.